we are live. What is up, everyone? Welcome on in. Happy Thursday. I hope everyone is doing well. Pink Girl Gamer Jade, what is up? Welcome on in. I'm sorry that did not play earlier, so I will replay that alert now.
Pink Girl Gamer Jade backseats with. This is the part you say hi everyone lol.
Hi everyone, lol. What is up? Anyway, yeah, relatively earlier start tonight. I did start maybe 15-ish minutes earlier, just because I do want to get through as much of this case as possible. Hopefully we can finish it tonight, but knowing this case, I don't know. So yeah, just a recap, I think we are now in the latter part of the case, and
Dash
we can...
backseats with. Say hi everyone lol.
Hi everyone, lol. Yo Dash, what's up? Welcome on in. What is wrong with this freaking controller? Is there any way to freaking hard reset this controller, because it's like so annoying? I feel like I've paired this with a lot of devices, that's why it's like screwing up. Anyway, you know what, screw it. Onto the old controller. The dedicated Mario controller. Why not? Anyway, alright. Let's continue this. Yeah, latter part, Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence. Alright, I just need to double check if like audio's okay. Send it to be repaired. You know, it's working when it's paired with my PC. It's just like screwing up if it's paired with the Switch. So I don't know why. Yeah, because this is the what do they call this? This is the Pro 2 controller from 8-Bit Do. There are switches here for Switch, Xbox, PC, and Android or whatever. So it's working with the PC. It's just that it also works properly if I like pair it with the SNES with the retro receiver. It's just with the Switch that it randomly disconnects. So yeah. Anyway, all right. Okay, resume from playing. Let's do this. Let's continue. All right. All right, April 6th, 8:30 a.m., Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence Chamber. All right, 10 members, over a majority are present. That's called a quorum. I hereby call this meeting to order. We are gathered here today to assess the professional competency of Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. Here, in the sight of the goddess, we do solemnly swear to pass fair and frank judgment. Fair and frank? Don't make me laugh. Verity, if you would be so kind as to summarize the case against Mr. Edgeworth. On April 5th, despite having been advised of the illegality of an investigation he was conducting, the accused refused to desist and eventually had to be detained by myself and Chairman Winner. His actions compromised the investigation into the murder of a certain defense attorney. And despite having been presented with copious evidence of her guilt, he continues to insist that the suspect, 1K Faraday, is innocent of all charges. Perhaps you can explain the details of the murder to us as well. Of course. On the morning of the 5th, the body of the victim was found here in the committee chamber. Further explanation will be provided by me, Eustace Winner, Premier Prosecutor. The floor is yours, Mr. Winner. The murder itself happened late on the night of the 4th. The victim was Miss Rosie Ringer. Oh, alright. That same night, an illicit auction was being held here in this very room. Ringer took part in that auction, I think. Yeah. Meaning that the murder took place sometime during the auction. When she was found, Ringer was dressed in an outfit that matched the description of the auctioneers. However, due to the fact that the auction carried on after the murder had occurred, I deduced that Ringer was not in fact the auctioneer. You deduced nothing of the sort. And what about the basis on which the suspect was detained, Mr. Winner? Yeah, I got this. So Faraday was overcome by... crushing remorse, Eustace. Yeah, that. Tons of crushing remorse. So she confessed. According to her confession, she was on the roof of this building when she encountered the person in a red raincoat on the viewing platform. And that person was Miss Ringer, I take it. Precisely, Mr. Chairman. The killer dressed the victim in the auctioneer's outfit after the fact. But at the time when she was killed, Miss Ringer was wearing a red raincoat. And who won the race to find that raincoat nearby? Me. That's who. Did you? I thought it was somebody from forensics. Strictly speaking, it was found by one of the forensic investigators under Mr. Winner's command. I knew it. The blood analysis on the coat showed that it was indeed Miss Ringer who had worn it. And the suspect's confession was the final nail in the coffin. She confirmed having committed the murder. So as you can see, Kay Faraday was the killer. There's no way anybody else could have done it. Alright, Miles. I expect you to have some objections. Let's get them out of the way, shall we? I have no objections, Chairman Winner. Well now, is that so? I thought it would have taken more than a single night. No objections in the matter of my unauthorized investigation, that is. But in the matter of Miss Faraday's supposed guilt, I have plenty. I can personally attest to the fact that Mr. Winner's investigation was fair and impartial. Of course it was. When it comes to carefully conducted ops, I'm the winner every time. You know, Miles, it's within my power to offer you a plea deal of sorts. If, and this is purely hypothetical of course, you were to withdraw your objections. You might wake up tomorrow to find yourself the proud owner of a seat in this committee. Oh, because there's one vacancy. So I ask you again, do you have any objections, Mr. Edgeworth? If you think you can buy my silence, think again. You will watch your mouth. Only if the chairman watches his. Ooh. I didn't come here to talk about committee seats. I came here to talk about the murder case. I demand a statement under oath, and I won't rest until I have one. I want to know exactly what the committee's view on the incident is. You want to put us on trial, my boy? Very well, if it will make you happy. Verity, please provide Mr. Edgeworth with the materials pertaining to the case. Oh, it's because you don't have the whatchamacallit. You don't have evidence. Really? But sir... This will be his last hurrah, so let's humor him with the send-off he desires. If you say so, Mr. Chairman. Evidence data received from Judge Gavel. Oh, so we have everything back now. Nice. We have the raincoat, the part, the picture, blood, clothes box, elevator blood. Okay, why is this here? Oh, originally found in the Zengfa presidential plane. You have no objections to Verity representing the committee, I assume. None whatsoever. Mr. Edgeworth. Don't worry, Kay. Everything will be fine. You'll see. Oh, argument time. The committee's view of the case. Mr. Ringer attended the auction as a potential buyer. The red raincoat was one of the items up for sale. So our assumption is that after winning and paying for it, she left the auction with her purchase. The only exit from the storeroom was, of course, the hatch leading up onto the roof. After she'd emerged into the viewing platform, that's when Miss Ringer was attacked by Miss Faraday. Shortly thereafter, her flame went out, and thus concludes the committee's view of the case. Oh. The raincoat was on offer that night? Is that really true? We believe so, yes. You remember the failed assassination attempt on the president of Zengfa, I assume. The raincoat is a piece of evidence from that case. So that has a connection with the first case. It should, of course, have remained safely under lock and key in the appropriate facility. But our inquiries revealed that it did go in fact missing under mysterious circumstances. And wound up in the auction along with everything else. That makes sense, I suppose. Wonderful work, Verity. Just wonderful. Crystal clear as ever. You flatter me, sir. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, perhaps you could save us all some time and simply admit defeat. I'll do no such thing, thank you very much. Very well. It's good to know that you still have some fight in you. It is? Why? Come to think of it, she said some strange things when she visited me this morning too. What exactly is she up to? Rebuttal. Ringer attended the auction as a potential buyer. In other words, a member of the committee was actively involved in the illegal evidence trade. It is unfortunate. I don't know what else to say. And of course, we'll be looking into any such activities just as soon as this hearing is over and done with. I commend your decision to pursue the matter further, Mr. Chairman. Oh, don't be silly, Verity. It's the least we can do, really. Not that it's any of your business, Miles. Not anymore. If only you had remained a prosecutor. But you didn't. Now, if we're quite done making an old man cry over this whole sad affair, very well, allow me to continue. Red raincoat was one of the items up for sale. Alright. So the raincoat really was one of the auction lots? That's correct. I believe it originally belonged to a Mr. Shelley the Killer. Considering its status as a piece of evidence, it's the only logical conclusion. It's from when he made his attempt on the president's life. There was an unexplained mannequin stand amongst the other items on sale. Alright. It could have well been used to display the code prior to the auction. Do we know how the items were being smuggled in? That is still under investigation.
Almost a year.
Annihilel, holy crap.
Coburn 64 backseats with. Sorry to interrupt, but there's an important stream announcement. Hi Twitch. Hi YouTube. Please like, comment, follow and subscribe for more courtroom objections. That's all for the low fee of being a chat lurker. Don't delay, sub today. Back to you, Zygo.
Yo, Coburn, thank you for the backseat. But Annihilel, holy crap, thank you for 11 months in a row with Prime. And that is indeed almost a year. Really do appreciate it. Enjoy the ad for viewing and enjoy the emotes. And Coburn, yes, thank you for the backseat. And if you did hear that backseat, if you are in Twitch...
20 months with this nerd. Bloody hell, that's almost a year.
And Coburn, thank you for 20 months. I do hope that resub is all set up already. And, well, if you do redisplay that message 3 days later, I wouldn't mind. Dash, welcome on in. Hi. How are you doing? Alright. Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, if you are new in Twitch and you enjoy content like this, consider giving the channel a follow. I really do appreciate it. And Dash, thank you for being a fan. I really do appreciate it as well. Anyway, back to the case. I will refund your points later, I promise. Alright, especially considering that you will soon be officially a prosecutor no longer, Mr. Edgeworth. Brrr. It's cold in here. Sounds like the outcome of this hearing is a foregone conclusion, no surprises there. My personal circumstances aren't important right now. Please continue, Your Honor. As I was saying, the raincoat was one of the items up for sale. So our assumption is that after winning and paying for it, she left the auction with her purchase. Wait, I think this is probably the statement in question. Why did she leave so soon after making her purchase? Because of the auction house rules, winning bidders are expected to pay for their items immediately. Miss Hart told us pretty much the same thing. Miss Ringer, having paid for the raincoat, probably left immediately afterwards in accordance with the rules. The only exit from the storeroom was, of course, the hatch leading up onto the roof.
Hold it!
Although I think the... Miss Ringer was a member of the committee. Could she not have left the committee chamber via the main door? While the auction was still underway, that would risk exposing its existence to those outside the trusted circle of attendees. Given that Miss Hart found out about it, I think its existence is already well and exposed. The rules of the auction stated that attendees were to enter and leave via the hatch in the roof. Miss Ringer had no reason not to follow those rules. And given where the murder took place, we know that she must have done so. After she emerged into the viewing platform, that's when Miss Ringer was attacked by Miss Faraday.
Hold it!
Okay, I think this is... Okay. This is the contradiction because Kay had a statement earlier. Alright. I think it's Kay's statement, right? Coming from beyond the concession stand and pushing her off the building. Because she was standing by the tree and the hatch was by the tree. But alright, let's just press the rest. Innocent judge believes the innocent is guilty. That's basically the plot premise of the cases in Ace Attorney and ILL. That's exactly what we are hoping to establish in our upcoming interviews with Miss Faraday. Coercive interrogation after the fact, something you seem to specialize in. If the murderer knew that the attendees would all be leaving via the hatch, then the roof would have been the perfect place to lie in wait. So as I was saying, after she'd emerged into the viewing platform, that's when Miss Ringer was attacked. Shortly thereafter, her flame went out and thus concludes the committee's view on the case. Sorry, let me just adjust this because... Ouch, my back. Her flame went out? The flame of her life, Mr. Edgeworth, though perhaps her flame was stolen from her is more apt.
Objection!
But the candelabrum that extinguished her life was one of the auction lots, meaning Kay had no way of getting a hold of it to begin with. Miss Faraday could not have lain in wait for the victim without knowing of the storeroom's existence. She could easily have snuck down the ladder and stolen it while the auction was underway. If only we knew where the candle holder was during the auction. That would surely clear the matter up, no? Well, either of you? Sadly, we don't have anything that could tell us much on that front of the moment. Forgive me, sir. This is something we are hoping to establish through further investigation. Well, isn't that a shame, Mouse, my boy? It seems this line of inquiry is something of a dead end, then, isn't it? So their theory is that the victim and her killer met on the roof and that's where the murder took place. In other words, it assumes the viewing platform was the scene of the crime. But is that really the case? I thought I had evidence that clearly shows the story of what happened that night. Time to double check. Alright, so I think it's this. But first, you know what to do. I need to present case recollections. It's not it! What? Wait. Storm was at the hatch. Assumption is after winning and paying for it, she left the auction with her purchase. Red raincoat was up one of the items for sale. Ringer attacked by Miss Faraday. Coming from beyond the concession stand, okay. On the exit, okay, that's a given. Okay, wait. I think yeah, because if she was to like buy it, I mean, yeah, she. If we assume that she bought this coat, that should have been in the mannequin, right? And this specific angle would not have been taken by the camera.
Objection!
Ah, damn it. Okay, wait. After she emerged into the viewing platform, that's when Ringer was attacked by Faraday. So if that's the case, then then like blood would have been all over the place, right?
Objection!
Damn it. Still not it. I have examined this, alright. Prominent burn mark.
Pink Girl Gamer J backseats with. Hi, my name is Psycho and this is why I'm not a lawyer.
Yep. This is why I am not a lawyer. Okay, attended the auction as a potential buyer, so assuming she's not the ring leader. Right.
Hold
Okay,
it!
what's her state? What why? What possible? The murderer knew that attendees would leave. The roof would have been the perfect place and wait.
Hold it! Objection! Overruled!
Could not have leaned and wait for the victim without knowing of the storeroom's existence. She could have easily snuck down the ladder and stolen it while the auction was underway. Okay, so this is probably not the statement that has a... Theory is that the victim and the killer met on the roof and that's where the murder took place. In other words, it assumes that the viewing platform was the scene of the crime. But is that really the case? I thought I had evidence that clearly shows the story of what happened that night.
Hold it!
Okay, let's press for this. Why did she leave so soon? Auction house rules. Winning bidders are expected to pay for their items.
Objection!
Oh my god. Maybe you can clear something up for me, Judge Gavil, but what is Miss Hart doing here at this hearing? She's an eyewitness. I thought it would be obvious. Well now, I ain't really an eyewitness, more of an ear witness, I guess. She's not exactly the most confidence-inspiring choice to help you make your case, is she? I like to think I choose my allies a little more carefully than you, Mr. Edgeworth. Then you should question them more thoroughly, because there's something she hasn't told you. Take a look at this. It's a photo taken by Miss Hart. Yes, in the storeroom, correct? What of it? According to your theory, the murder occurred up on the roof. But according to Miss Hart's testimony, she happened to witness the entire incident unfold in the storeroom, just before she took this picture. Wait, you're saying Gavil got it? Wrong. That's exactly what I'm saying. What? Miss Hart, if I may confirm your account of the events you witnessed last night, you saw the person in the picture, correct? I sure did, clear as day, and with my own two eyes to boot. And what were your impressions at that point? My impressions? This right here's the scoop of the century, something like that. Yeah, that makes sense. Ahem. I was hoping more for your impressions of the person in question. Oh, that here's a walk-in meal ticket? Seriously? Just my little joke. No need to look at me like I done sat on your lunch. Oh, Red Raincoat Rat? Why, I took one look and I thought that's our perp right there. And therein lies the rub, for Miss Hart to have thought of such a thing. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, when will you learn to use your words? If it is an explanation of the facts you require, you need only ask, you know. What do you mean? I assume you're about to raise the issue of the voices Miss Hart heard. Voices that may be unrelated.
Objection!
Unrelated? You can do better than that. Was one of the voices Miss Hart heard really even Miss Stringer's? You're kidding me, right? Them folks was talking crime-related turkey or my name ain't Lotta Danged Hart. Ah, but did you hear them clearly? Well, can't rightly say for sure, but... Gah, I can't rightly say nothing, and you know it. They was using voice changers, I done told you that. Precisely. Miss Hart heard voices, but those voices were disguised. Which means we cannot even be certain that whatever she did over here had anything to do with the murder.
Objection!
You don't need to yell objection in order to sigh at me, Mr. Edgeworth. It seems I overestimated you, Judge Cavell. Nonsense. Verity's the best of us, my boy. The very best. And yet she believes that what Miss Hart heard might not have had anything to do with the murder? Even supposing that that's the case, it doesn't prove the murder didn't happen in the storeroom. The incident happened before the victim was able to go up to the roof. That much we can say for certain. And I can tell you why. This proves that the incident happened before the victim went up the roof. It's the blood on the hand.
Take that!
We initially thought that the person in the red raincoat was the culprit. Yes, because Miss Hart said as much. Indeed, she told us about the blood she saw on this person's hand. And I doubt many people would have had thought differently given her testimony. Ergo, if this person is the killer, then the blood we see would be from when they attacked the victim. But knowing what we know now, that this person is in fact the victim, it recontextualizes everything. The presence of the blood still shows that the picture was taken after the attack. But now, it tells us something very important about the victim too. This picture tells us that the victim... Wait. What was the autopsy report again? 3 puncture wounds, head injury post-mortem, so post-mortem after death. The victim must have struck the killer. She must have struck them hard enough to draw blood, thus the blood on her hand. Mr. Edgeworth, all the blood at the scene was shown to have been from the victim, which means your theory holds no water whatsoever. There's no doubt in my mind that the victim was attacked in the storeroom. But here we have photographic evidence of her standing upright and alive, albeit with a bloody hand. This can only mean that Miss Stringer survived the attack. The blood in her hand is from the wounds she had sustained. What are you talking about? Who dies from a hand wound? The wound wasn't on her hand, Mr. Winner. I imagine she had used her hand to try and staunch a wound. That's right. Well, it's impossible to tell from this angle. The victim was already mortally wounded here. Oh ho ho! Well, that certainly would change things, wouldn't it? It very much would. Not least by making it absurd to suggest that Kay was the attacker. Her encounter with the victim happened after this picture had been taken. After the victim had already been attacked and was in critical condition. I put it to you that all Kay witnessed was the victim finally succumbing to her wounds. That would have been quite the coincidence. It's a textbook case of wrong place, wrong time, I'd say. You seem to be forgetting a rather important fact, Mr. Edgeworth. Well, that or pretending to not remember it. What? What fact am I forgetting? I think it's time to wrap things up, don't you, Verity? Put put the boy out of his misery. Dad, Gavel works for me. Why do you keep giving her orders? That's my job. You really are a total and utter embarrassment. I'm not. I hate to break it to you, but you both are. Go to it, Gavel. Put Edgeworth out of his misery. As you wish. What a wanka. He's a pompous spoiled brat. Come on. What you're forgetting? Miss Ringer's body was found with 3 wounds in its chest. And we all know what those wounds are from, don't we? That's right, they're from when she was stabbed in the chest by a 3-armed candelabrum. I doubt anybody could survive such grave wounds. If you care to read the coroner's report, I'm sure you would change your tune. Nicely done, Gavel. No Edgeworth. Make several objections? I'm afraid I will. What? Why? Weren't you listening? Oh, I was listening. Very carefully, in fact. Hence, my objections. Come on! Why do you always have to undermine me? That's never my intention, I assure you. It isn't? Because you do it so well to yourself every single time already. He's a dick. Of course it isn't. Yeah, I knew that because I'm... Please, Eustace, just stop for goodness sake. You've already embarrassed me enough. Huh? What do you mean, Dad? Okay, Ringer's body was found with 3 wounds in its chest. 3 wounds. That can't have been pleasant. Yes. Which is why we must see that the perpetrator of this cruel act pays for their sins. Don't listen to her, Kay. She's just trying to scare you. If you could please continue on, Judge Gavel. Very well. As I was saying, there were 3 wounds. He's an arrogant child. Yes, he's a spoiled brat. And you all know what those wounds were from, don't we? I do, but perhaps we should ask Mr. Winner. He does, I'm sure. Don't you, Eustace? Who, me? Oh, you bet I do. I know this case inside out. Who does he think he's fooling? Eustace, my boy, make an old man happy and at least glance at the coroner's report, would you? Sure, let's see. Yada yada, 3 puncture wounds, blah blah, candle holder. No way, that's what they used? Crazy. Wow, he's an idiot. Precisely. The wounds were inflicted just as Eustace says. It's right there from when she was stabbed in the chest by a 3-armed candelabrum. And you're sure the stabs to the chest were the cause of death? There's no doubt about that? None. One of the spikes of the candelabrum even pierced the victim's heart. And unless you mean to call Dr. Hurt's professional opinion into question, we can only treat that as fact. The coroner's opinion backing up my own winning ones. Now that's what I call a flawless victory. Well, I'm certainly not about to ignore the coroner's findings. Hey, what about my findings? You can't just ignore them. But if the cause of death really was the puncture wounds to the chest from the candelabrum, that would seem to contradict one of the pieces of evidence we've gathered. Oh my god, whose emote is this? He's not just ignoring my findings. He's ignoring me. Do something, Gavel. As you wish. At the very least, I will ensure that he cannot ignore my own conclusions. I doubt anybody could survive such grave wounds. But the victim may not necessarily have died instantly. I think we can say that much at least. Perhaps. But she would surely not have lived for longer than a few moments either. So, there are people who could survive even if you stab them in the chest? Sure, there might be. And there might not be too. So which is it? Trust me, there are not. And in case you're still tempted to believe there might be, if you care to read the coroner's report, I'm sure you would change your tune.
Hold it!
Okay. Cause of death is the set of 3 puncture wounds on the left side of the chest inflicted by a candle holder. Well done for reading, Mr. Edgeworth. That report forms the basis of my own conclusions. In other words, if I disprove what it says, I disprove your conclusions too. You have the strangest sense of humor, but I wouldn't mind seeing you try. However, before you do, I would advise you to read that report very carefully. After all, I am not interested in your opinions, only in solidly grounded deductions. Very well, then you shall have my deductions. Mr. Edgeworth, don't worry, Kay, everything will be alright. I need to find something to prove that the victim was still alive and breathing immediately after the attack. If I can't, Kay's fate will be sealed. Okay, so what does the report say again? Cause of death is 3 puncture wounds. Also suffered head injury post-mortem. Other remarks: prominent burn mark on back of victim's right hand. Okay, Okay, because look, this photo has the left hand with blood. The photo of the body also has the left hand with blood, right? Okay, I think we need to save again. Head injury sustained post-mortem. Wait, Anilal, why is there another resub message from you? Okay, that is weird. You got another resub message. Anyway, Twitch is glitch. Fair enough. Okay. Because this person was still able to climb the climb the ladder, right? Something to prove that the victim was still alive immediately after the attack. I think we still showed the picture.
Objection!
Damn it!
Objection!
Fudge. And there's only two things, either the coroner's report or
Objection! Objection!
shit. Okay, what's the proof that Ringer was still alive, warned by the victim whose fingerprints and blood were on the hood, were found on the hood?
Objection!
Far out. Oh no, wait. How did she use the keycard then? Right? Okay, wait.
Objection!
Damn it, it's not this. Come on, hurry up. Oh, it can't end like this, and yet there's nothing more I can do. Aw, sad. Sad. Ah. Okay, what is the evidence to show that Ringer was still alive, was still able to do things? Okay, coroner's report. Sometime late last night. Cause of death is the set of 3 punctured wounds on the left side of the chest, inflicted by a candle holder. Victim also suffered a head injury post-mortem. We don't know where the head injury was taken or was done. Prominent burn mark on back of victim's right hand. Badge 2. So we can't see the victim's right hand in this photo.
Hold it!
Damn it, okay. How was she able to like wear this? No, she could have worn like the jacket on top of the hood, right? Should be this one, right? How would she have worn the hood?
Hold it! Objection!
Okay, it's not. Okay, I have a feeling this is the statement, but we just need the evidence.
Objection! Objection!
I was thinking like the fight with getting the flower. Could it be that she used her key card?
Objection!
No, damn it.
Objection!
Damn it, it's not heart statement as well. Just by a candelabrum. I doubt anyone.
Hold it!
If I disprove what it says, Is it case recollection that she was still able to push her?
Objection!
No, it's not. Okay. Damn it. Yeah, by the way, ads are running. Okay, what have we not presented here?
Objection!
I'm just gonna like present spam here.
Objection!
It's not the clothes. It's not the clothes blocks.
Objection!
It's not the elevator blood. It's not the photo. It's not their hood.
Objection!
It's not the candelabra.
Objection!
It's not the coroner's findings. I know I've presented that previously already.
Hold it!
Oh, damn it.
Objection!
Okay, again. Damn it, what's the evidence here? Come on.
Objection!
It's not the masks.
Objection!
It's not the plushie.
Objection!
Okay, I swear if there's nothing in the evidence in this statement,
Objection!
It's also not the ringleader costume.
Objection! Objection!
So this is not the statement. What's the statement then? Alright. Hmm. Okay. I need to find something to prove that the victim was still alive and breathing immediately after the attack. Okay, let's press each statement again. 3 wounds that can't have been pleasant. Which is why we must see that the perpetrator... Okay, don't listen to her, okay?
Hold it!
Okay, this is the Eustace thing, blah 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 blah.
Hold it!
But if the cause of death really was the puncture wounds to the chest from the candelabrum, that would seem to contradict one of the pieces of evidence we've gathered. So is this the statement that needs like...
Objection!
Damn it. Okay, so... I'll try again with the photo here. So this one, the photo, the coroner report, or the candelabra.
Objection!
Oh my god. Okay. Chairman Winner, you know what this is, of course. The red raincoat, that's right, isn't it, Verity? Yes, sir. The one Miss Ringer was wearing. I warn you, Mr. Edgeworth, you will not be thanked for retreading old ground here. Well, I'm afraid I might have to regardless. Now then, if we answer me this, Judge Cavell. You told us that the victim's bloodstains were found on the coat. But do you remember where exactly they were found? Of course, they were found on the hood and... No. What's the matter, Verity? The hood and... Was blood found anywhere else in the raincoat? No, it was not. Doesn't that strike you as odd? The victim died of stab wounds to the chest. Wouldn't that lead one to expect to find bloodstains in that area? And yet, there was blood only on the hood. That's a glaring contradiction if I ever saw one. The head wound the victim suffered wasn't just some incidental injury. It was inflicted before the stab wounds to her chest. Perhaps you are correct. Perhaps the victim did sustain the head injury first. As you said, if she had been stabbed first, there should be blood in the chest area of the raincoat. Therefore, Miss Ringer cannot have been stabbed before the head injury had been inflicted to her. But even if we concede this point, that the head injury came before the chest wound, what difference would it make? How does it change our own understanding of the case? I'd say it changes things a great deal. In fact, it raises an even more fundamental contradiction. That's quite the bold claim, Mr. Edgeworth. I have to admit, you have me intrigued. Perhaps you could show us this fundamental contradiction with some evidence. Which piece of evidence best demonstrates the contradiction the order of the injuries revealed? Which piece of evidence best... Okay, what's... But that the head injury came before the chest wound. What different... How does it... Okay. Cannot have been stabbed before the head injury. So head injury, then stab, right?
Take that!
Ah, shit. Okay, save scum. The victim had been struck on the head before she was stabbed in the chest. Then this piece of evidence makes no sense at all.
Take that!
The autopsy report. This is Dr. Hurt's preliminary findings, according to which the victim suffered a head injury post-mortem. But the order suggested by the bloodstains on the raincoat is exactly the opposite, yes. Bailiff, the Hort hereby subpoenas Dr. Hilda Hertz to the committee chamber with all due haste. Until she testifies, this case cannot be brought to a close. Yes, Your Honor, I'll go fetch her at once. Unfortunately, Dr. Hertz is a very busy woman. I doubt she will be able to come immediately. In the meantime, there is another important angle I would like to explore. Frankly, something has been bothering me about the person at the heart of this case. The so-called ringleader. Who exactly are they? Yeah, good point. We never looked into that, huh? Despite having been mentioned repeatedly in this hearing, we still don't know even the most basic facts that might help us uncover their identity. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any thoughts on the matter? We've seen nothing that might serve as clear evidence of the auctioneer's identity as of yet. But there is someone involved in the case that I can name. I suspect that at the very least, they might be able to point us in the right direction. And that's... Chairman Winner. I demand that you testify as to what you know. What? Are you crazy? Why would you accuse my dad? You would cast doubt on the integrity of the chairman of the committee? Do you understand the implications of such an act? I don't care who or what he is. We're talking about the truth here. And about the man who seems dead set on framing Kay at all costs. The mask, corsage, ticket stub, and everything else. The items Kay was carrying when she was found. They were deliberately placed in her possession somehow. By Chairman Winner himself. A shocking accusation, and one I find hard to believe. But for the sake of completeness, I must ask. Why would he do such a thing? To case suspicion on Kay, of course, why else? Shouldn't this be to cast suspicion on Kay, of course? Classic Chairman Winner with his fire. I even managed to get him to say something to that effect. Chairman Winner, your rebuttal, please. I think the good chairman might be in shock. So what if I did? Did you hear me, dear boy? I said, so what if I did? You see, you got me to admit as much. But where's your proof, With no witnesses to speak of, your word alone is hardly enough to make an accusation like that stick. Or do you mean to tell us that you have something more to base your outburst on? He still has the arrogance he showed back at the detention center, and yet... Mr. Edgeworth, I'm going to have to ask you to explain yourself. If that's alright, Mr. Chairman. Not at all. I'll be very interested to hear this for myself. I'm intrigued to learn where Miles might have gotten the idea that I'm some sort of criminal. Because you'll never find a more fine and upstanding citizen than myself. He has a lot of nerve acting all innocent like that. Very well, let's start at the very beginning. The fact that the auction took place right here in this hollowed trial chamber is a point of suspicion. A location that should, by rights, only be accessible to the members of the committee. Yeah, they all have keycards to the room after all. Furthermore, these auctions seem to be held on a somewhat regular basis. And for that to be possible, there can only be one winning explanation. That's right, Mr. Winner, that the auctioneer is a member of the committee. What? No! What on earth is wrong now? What do I do, Dad? I played right into his hands. Oh, you did indeed, you utter nitwit. But Miles, my boy, you do realize that you've cast quite the wide net with your explanation? That's true. There are 11 members of the committee altogether. 10, giving Miss Ringer's unfortunate passing. 10 potential suspects in total. And it can't be the chairman, can it? Whoever it is, speak up right now. Calm down all of you, please. Well, Miles, is that all the proof you've got against me? You're very quiet all of a sudden. But it's too late to back out now. You accused the former chief prosecutor and current committee chairman of a crime. I would tell you to prepare for the worst. But there's no preparing for what you're about to face. Know your place. You've been forcing us to argue over every little detail for a while now. Where the murder happened, the order of the victim's injuries, some other things I hardly even remember. But you needn't have bothered my boy because it's all irrelevant in the end. Think about it, the suspect herself has already said she did it. That's all that matters at the end of the day, and her sentence will be lighter for it, so rejoice. And there you have it. Feel free to pick holes in it as you see fit. How can I when that was barely a testimony to begin with? That man, he's a very powerful person, isn't he? It's okay, Mr. Edgeworth. Please, just let it go. I did it. I'm the murderer. I even remember doing it. You saw a flash of something half-remembered, Kay. Nothing more. If you must believe in something... Believe me when I say you should believe in your own innocence instead. But... I'm up against the head of the committee here. This isn't going to be easy. But he seems to think he's already won. Perhaps I can use that against him.
Hold it!
Even if the broad strokes were correct, it doesn't make something true. Oh, don't be such a stick in the mud. I'd say the bigger picture is more than enough here. After all, every case has its little inconsistencies and contradictions. If we let ourselves get bogged down in every single one, we'd never make any arrests. And once we did, the trials would drag on forever. Even you understand that, right? Not in the slightest, hence my inquiry into the details. How much gas has that lighter have? I don't know. Where the murder happened, the order of the victim's injuries, other things I hardly even remember. I seem to recall the ringleader's identity and the faulty coroner's report being critical points of contention. Yes, I was listening, my boy. But critical is a matter of opinion. How can you possibly suggest that such fundamental issues are not important? Perhaps it is your ability to make sound judgments that should be on trial here today. Oh ho ho ho. Bravo, my young hothead. Wonderfully cutting stuff. You do like to try though, don't you?
Hold it!
There's no way of any of what we've discussed today is irrelevant, not unless you intend to bury the truth. But none of it is relevant, dear boy. The only reason you keep trying to make it relevant is because otherwise you're up a creek without a paddle.
Hold it!
Just because she confessed to something doesn't make it the truth. Kay is suffering from amnesia, so any statement she makes should be taken with at least a grain of salt.
Objection!
Even so, it doesn't exactly solve anything for us, does it, dear boy? And it would be nonsensical to dismiss her confession outright. I'll tell you what. Why don't we ask her one last time? Though I'm sure she'll just say she did it again. Fine, let's do it. Let's ask her again. We'll see if she really believes herself to be the culprit. Huh? You mean me? Is this really what you want, Mr. Edgeworth? If it goes badly, it could significantly weaken your position. I know, but there's no other way. I only request that I be the one to question her. You really know how to tug at an old man's heartstrings, you know? But fine, ask away, on one condition. If this turns out to be a waste of time, that's it. We'll call the proceedings to an end, then and there. Agreed? Call the proceedings to an end? You mean the hearing? Yes, dear boy, that's right. Perhaps you aren't a complete muddlehead after all. Now, just so we're clear, if we ask again and all that happens is the girl confirms her guilt, she is officially declared guilty on the spot. Yes, that sounds like a great plan if I do say myself. That's it? You just declare her guilty just like that? That's the gist of it. It's a big risk, but he's going to find a way to condemn her either way if you don't do something. Kay. Yes. He sweats too much to be innocent. He might just be he might have just like very bad sweat glands. Do you remember anything else about what happened on the day of the murder? Anything that might help us prove your innocence? Why are you still fighting it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's no use. I can't be of help to you. I'm sorry. Classic Ace Attorney music. Yes. I'm too scared to try and remember anymore. What if I remember something even worse? And if I did, I'd just be making more trouble for you. Please, just accept it. The Kay you thought you knew is a dangerous criminal. A criminal who let you down and betrayed your trust. Don't worry, Kay. You have nothing to be afraid of. I may not have known you for very long, but I know you well enough. And right now, I'd say I know you better than you know yourself. Ooh. You would never commit a murder. You could never, because this is who you really are. I should have made this an emote.
Take that!
You are the great thief Yatagarasu. A noble outlaw who would never stoop so low as to kill. I can't do it. I'm sorry because all I can see is the one memory that's returned. I have to face it.
Hold it!
No, the only evidence of your guilt is the confession they forced out of you. As I said earlier, you have to believe that you're better than that. Or are you saying you don't believe a word of what I've been telling you? No, it's not that. You're trying so hard to help me. And you're risking so much for me. It's too much. You have to stop. I'm begging you. Ah, so that's what's going on. I thought it was strange, but now I see. The reason you're allowing yourself to be railroaded into accepting your fate is because of me, isn't it? Which is exactly what the Kay I know would have done. You're a good person, Mr. Edgeworth. Sorry to burst your bubble, but I'm not. And I don't plan on becoming one anytime soon. Because despite all your wishes to the contrary, I'm still trying to help you. So you see, I've merely been servicing my own ego regardless of what I put you through. Now, let's try this again. See the good in yourself, Kay. Remember the noble thief you truly are. That memory of you committing the murder, you need to question it with all you have. That's all I ask. So please, do it for me. Breakdown? Not breakdown? Kay! What's wrong? Did you remember something? Oh, it'd be like some cliche movie plot if she did. Or some cliche Ace Attorney plot. A cow. Moo? A cow? Mr. Edgeworth, if you could perhaps ask her for a few more details. Well, Kay, what can you tell us about this cow? I remember now. Was there milk involved? The person in the red raincoat, she had it in her hand. A stuffed cow, I can see it so clearly now. Are you sure, Miss Faraday? Are you absolutely certain? Yes, I'm sure. Then this court acknowledges the defendant's latest statements as new testimony.
Objection.
Have you lost your mind, Verity? We can't accept testimony like this. With all due respect, Mr. Chairman, information pertaining to the victim and her possessions is new and highly relevant evidence.
Objection.
Need I remind you the addled tale of her memory? No, this simply won't do. Addled? But if you claim her memory is unreliable now, then our own argument is weakened, sir. You said yourself only a few minutes ago that thanks to the suspect's confession, we need not worry ourselves over the finer details, did you not? Were we to call the validity of her memories into question, then we must also call into question the confession on which our entire argument is based. Is that really the most advisable course of action? Out of gas, nice. Yes, you're right. Proceed as you see fit then. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're still in the game, but only by the skin of our teeth. And only thanks to Judge Gavel's intervention. It's almost as if she was on our side for a second. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, the stuffed animal. I believe the cow in question is this thing here, Your Honor. We found it in the storeroom and believe it is yet another auction lot. Wait, that's... Do you know something, Gavel? No, it's just not what I imagined. I suppose it's a rather odd thing for the victim to have been carrying. I should look over it carefully. The left horn is missing, this hole. It looks like that's where the horn would have gone, but that doesn't look like stuffing in there. So what is it? Let's take a look at the rest of this toy and see what else we can find. Why do you not have anything to like investigate? Okay, other horn. The right horn seems intact, but I can't see it's doing much for the overall symmetry of the stuffed toy. Look, Mr. Edgeworth, it moves. It does? Bzzz. Sounds like sand being crushed. It would seem there's a recording device hidden inside. And I knew it was you the moment I had laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. Nothing to say for yourself? I've waited so long for this day, and I'll finally have my revenge. Could this be the moment of the murder? And someone made a recording of it. Hey, that's them right there. Them's the voices I heard. Sure, Sigs. Unfortunately, we have no way of verifying when these voices were recorded. It's possible they have nothing to do with the murder. If only there were some accompanying video footage. You got bugs in your ears or something, lady? I done told ya. Them's the voices I heard. And we already know the victim was holding that thing, right? So it's gotta be from when she got. Yes, it's a possibility, but a weak one without more than your word to back it up. We need something more, something credible. Yet again, she seems to be stepping in to help. Judge Gavel, I think we all know the voices are from the moment of the murder. Consider for a moment the words we heard one of the speakers say. I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. I believe we have something that could explain what these words are referring to and how it's all related. Which piece of evidence proves that the voices are from when the murder occurred? It's this because prominent burn mark on back of victim's right hand. Right?
Take that!
The coroner's preliminary findings? How did they prove anything? Indeed, what on this page shows that voices must be from the time of the murder.
Take that!
If you read this part of the report again, you'll see where I'm getting at. Which part exactly, may I ask? What? Yo, AX Punisher. What's up? Welcome on in. Opticat, what's up? Welcome on in. Thank you for the shoutout, Coburn. Shoutout Stream Elements. Yes, please follow Stream Elements. No, but yes, please do check out AX Punisher. Coburn once like that time, so please give the Twitch shoutout to AX Punisher. Punisher, how are you doing? Playing Marvel Rivals. How was that? How was that game? Did you enjoy? Stream Elements, yes, please follow Stream Elements. Very useful bot. Anyway, Punisher and those coming in from the raid, welcome on in. Really do appreciate you coming in. Thank you for the raid, Punisher. You raided last time you played Marvel Rivals. Nice. I think you raided the last time you raided, you were playing Mario Kart. Or Mario Party. Anyway, fun game, but they had a rough go tonight. Okay. Alright, anyway, AX Punisher and Raiders, welcome on in. Thank you so much for dropping by. Really do appreciate it. Yeah, if you don't know me, I'm Psycho. I'm a streamer from the Philippines. I stream variety games. Usually I stream the Marios, but tonight we are playing Ace Attorney Investigations 2. We are in the 4th case. We are near the end of the case, I think. And we are losing our life because we are presenting wrong evidence. So yeah. Anyway, let's continue this and hopefully we present the correct part of this evidence as a contradiction. Okay, coroner's report. Where in the report does it suggest that the voices were heard are connected to this case? It says here burn mark. Okay.
Take that!
Ah, finally, thank you. Then again, in the words we heard, this part in particular sticks out in my mind. You can't hide that burn from me. The victim had a prominent burn mark on the back of her right hand. And what of it? According to case testimony, the victim was carrying the stuffed cow toy. And a burn mark, an identifying mark unique to the victim, was mentioned on the recording it captured. Huh, it's just a coincidence. Stuff like that happens all the time, right? Right? Yeah, thank you for the shout out, Coburn. Yep. Folks, please do check out AX Punisher. Yep. Yeah, no worries. Awesome person. Thank you for the raid. Really do appreciate it. Alright, especially not in this case. The court accepts that the recording may be from the time of the murder. In which case, one of the two voices must belong to the real culprit. And based on the content of the conversation, it seems likely that it's the one we hear the most. But that still doesn't tell us anything about the killer's true identity, or even if they're male or female. Due to the voice changers, correct. Unfortunate but unavoidable. One thing, however, has become clear. We are now able to say that the voices Miss Hart heard were those of Miss Ringer and her killer. Just like I done told you they was. We can say something else now too. Then let's hear it. That is, if you don't mind, Mr. Chairman. Do as you wish. According to Miss Hart, just before the murder occurred, two people came up to the storeroom from the committee chamber on the elevator. The ringleader and one of the auction attendees. It seems this was the point at which money exchanged hands. The murder happened immediately afterward, and the auction carried on after that. All of which points to one key fact. What else does this latest revelation? Save scum. Okay, there are only two options. Ringer was the victim. Or the ringleader was the killer. Sure about that, Brainiac auction? Okay. Ringleader was the killer. Since the ringleader was the auction's sole auctioneer, then it follows that they cannot be the victim. Hey, Gavel. Not right now, Eustace. There's a good boy. And if they weren't the victim, they can only have been the killer. A compelling argument, but hardly conclusive. I am fully aware of that, Your Honor. I was merely warming up for the main event. There were certain traces left on the scene that seemed to suggest that the ringleader was the killer. Then please hurry up and show us. What is something that was placed on the scene that points to the ringleader as having been the killer? Oh my god.
Take that!
Damn it, it's not the elevator blood. Oh, wait. It's the freaking candelabra.
Take that!
It's not. Ah, fuck. Sorry. Rip. Okay, we retry, but because I'm out of. Okay, at least we replenished our life again. What is something that was placed on the scene that points to the ringleader have been the killer? It's the ringleader's appearance.
Take that!
Damn it, it's not the ringleader's appearance. If the ringleader was the killer, there's something they would have wanted to hide.
Pink Girl Gamer J backseats with. And with that, Psycho was the true ringleader.
Yes. Would it be the key card? There were certain traces left on the scene that seemed to suggest that the ringleader was the killer. Since the ringleader was the auction's sole auctioneer, then it follows that they cannot be the victim. And if they weren't the victim, they can only be the killer. There were certain traces left on the scene that seemed to suggest that the ringleader was the killer. What is something that was placed on the scene that points to the ringleader as having been the killer, which was the auctioneer?
Take that!
Damn it, it's not that because that was like found on the thing.
Take that!
Damn it, it's also not the...
Take that!
It's not the key card, what the frick?
Take that!
It's not the raincoat. Oh my god, what am I missing?
Take that!
You see it? Ah, shit.
Take that!
It's the letter.
Take that!
It's not the letter.
Take that!
It's also not fucking this.
Take that!
Oh my god. Frick, I only have one life left. The killer deliberately left a large pool of blood at the foot of the Goddess of Justice statue. It was true to that, the blood we originally thought the murder had happened in this chamber. But it was simply a ruse, designed to cover up the blood that had dripped down from the storeroom. In order to conceal the existence of the underground auction, correct? Correct. If the culprit had nothing to do with the auction, they would have had no reason to cover up that blood. Which further supports the theory that the ringleader and the killer were one and the same. And as to the identity of the ringleader, do you have anyone you'd like to name? The auction is always held in this committee chamber, with its storeroom located just overhead. So at the very least, we know the murderous ringleader has some connection to the committee. Is it Excelsius? Yes, and you suspect me, correct? As the committee's most powerful member, that should hardly a surprise, right? You're a fine prosecutor, that much I'll give you. But as I think you may have mentioned already, you're also hopelessly naive. You've got nothing, dear boy, have you? No evidence whatsoever. Unless you've got something to share after all. Do you have any evidence to show that Chairman Winner is the murderer? I don't. It was Chairman Winner himself who brought up the fact that I suspected him, and he seemed confident right from the get-go that he's untouchable. Which means he knows I have nothing. Oh, well, Miles, my boy, time to pay the piper. Ah, I've always wanted to say that. Verity, he's all yours. Hold it. Wait, dang it. I just remembered something. Huh? Did you have amnesia too? Nah, just none came to me. Flash of inspiration, you know how it is. Very well, say your piece. What are you doing, Verity? Mr. Edgeworth has made it clear that he won't give up until every last lick of hope has been extinguished. So extinguish we must, lest he try to drag us through this excruciating process again in the future. Yeah, what she said. I don't quite get it, but it sounded pretty cool. Don't worry, Dad. I'll help Gavel bring this to a winning finish. We'll show them how wrong they are. Fine, let's hear what the witness has to say. You heard the chairman, Miss Hart, if you would be so kind. Well, alright then, here goes nothing. Don't you worry your pretty little head on that front. I'm a journalist. Truth's my middle name. Color me officially worried. So the ringleader's the killer, right? Which makes the victim one of them auction goers. Thing is, that don't add up. I counted 11 people coming down that hatch, see? Then a murder happened and then the auction started back up again. Now, I had me a look back downstairs right after that. No. And wouldn't you know it, there were 11 little duckies all lined up in a row again. How? And you're sure of this, Miss Hart? Sure can be, your gavel ship. Saw him with my own 2 peepers. So, 11 before the murder and 11 again right after means... Wait, that's a thingy. A contradiction, Eustace. Don't try to keep up. Miss Harp, did nothing really change at all? I done told you already. They carried right on again like nothing even happened. Oh, except for... It wasn't nothing much, but... What is it? That little old mallet doodad. Can't have yourself an auction without one. Kinda like the one Missy over there's got, but different. The auctioneer's hammer? That's the bunny. Oh, Judge... The classic Judge Gavel. I done heard that thing banging and clanging right the way through them nothing, just like that. So the noise of the hammer stopped midway through. Could it have something to do with the murder? Oh. Okay, what was the update? But the sound of the auctioneer's hammer could no longer be heard. Oh. Namely, that if the victim is neither the auctioneer nor one of the attendees, your entire theory cannot stand, Mr. Edgeworth. Chalk one up for justice. Eat that, Edgeworth. See, Mr. Edgeworth, there really was nothing we could do. No, there must be something we're overlooking. Something we still don't have an explanation for. I just need to think. If I can't, K is... Alright, kids, do we finally have all our answers now? If so, then I expect you to make good on... One moment, sir. I worry that it might still be a little early to pass judgment. After all, we have one more matter yet to resolve. And until we do, we cannot claim complete and total victory over Mr. Edgeworth. Is that not so, Mr. Edgeworth? Frankly, I expected you to have raised your voice by now. A loud, hold it, perhaps? Oh, yes, of course. And once again, she has rescued us from the jaws of defeat. Very well, let's get this over with, shall we? What is this one matter that still remains? Why, the contradiction in the coroner's report, sir. That's, I'm back with the witnesses, Your Honor. What's this all about? Why'd you call us back down here? Did somebody suddenly fall ill? I'll have a compress ready in 2 shakes of an ouch. This better be good. Did somebody else drop dead? Well, they might soon wish they had. Dr. Hertz, Miss Needler, thank you for coming on such short notice. Let me assure you, this won't take long. Quit trying to butter me up and cut to the chase, will ya? Haha, of course. We summoned you here to confirm something. What is Judge Cavell up to? Dr. Hertz, this court asks you that you provide the unabridged truth regarding the following. Do you stand by your preliminary findings? Can you vouch for their complete and total accuracy? Grandma doesn't make mistakes, ever. That's strange. Huh? What do you mean? In the course of this trial, an error was indeed found in her report. And so I ask again for the truth, Dr. Hertz. Did you alter, tamper with, or in any way falsify your findings? That's awful. How can you even say that? What are you asking me for? Why the heck would I want to do that? To help the true culprit, of course. As if I know anything about all that. I just know I didn't do anything at the short. Then that seems stoutly strange. What other explanation could there be for the discrepancy in your report? Mr. Edgeworth, I wonder if you might have any thoughts on the matter. It's not like you to be coy, I must say. Why does she keep taking charge and helping me? I still don't know what she's trying to do, but I'll happily take what I can get. If everything was recorded accurately and then handed off to Mr. Winner according to protocol, then the report shouldn't contain any mistakes. Wait, for the record, I didn't do anything to the report. I guess we'll see, won't we? Dr. Hertz, perhaps we could begin with your side of the story. Why do we even need to? This is pointless. I'll be the judge of what's pointless, thank you very much. We have patients waiting back at the hospital. But Grandma, we really don't have time for this. Won't you please help us? I can't stress how important this is. Grandma, says she'll testify. But could you please make it quick? If we're not back soon, people will suffer. And yet you had no cause about taking your time and buying cotton candy the last time we saw you. We'll let you go as soon as we can, I promise. Assuming you tell us the truth, that is. Alright. Okay, before their testimony, I'll have a quick save here and I will take a very quick break because I need to go to the toilet. So... Alright. I will switch to BRB, I will run the ads, then after around 3 minutes, we go and resume this one. Here comes the ads. If you are subbed or you have turbo, enjoy the BRB clips. Alright, BRB. Oh my god, okay. That is a troll. That was a troll. You don't bounce on dry bones when you're SMB2 Mario. You son of a... Surprise muncher. The same troll again. That was in like Team Music World. What's up, Peregrine? Good to see you.
Oh, what does that mean? Oh,
Is
we
that
died.
the last? No.
Yeah, we did. Oh my God, Ronaldo!
Bitrate, rip bitrate. No, wait.
You
Sorry.
crashed Psycho's game.
Okay, is that a legit com error or no? Is the you know the way like that there's a slope here makes me like seem the setup is super sus. You know what? I don't think I want the clown car. You know what? No, I don't want the clown car. I think I want the clown car. And now I can't get this because clown cars have one ways to jank. Oh, come on. YOLO! You, jump. Okay, thank you. Okay, now what? Double door. Oh my god, that's not a fake block. That's the end castle. Oh my god, that's so good. I really need to like... Wow. That is so good. Then you're gonna get either you're gonna get crushed or you're like yeah. Oh my god, that's so good. And we are back. Right? Alright. Sorry for the extended break a bit. Alright, let's continue. So-called mistake in the report. Alright, nowhere there's a mistake in Grandma's report, not never. I've been dealing with the dead longer than you've been alive, Sonny Jim. Me writing something wrong is about likely as ouch. And what the heck you'd think I'd stand to gain by doctoring a file? Don't make me a lick of sense. And that's all she has to say. Nothing funky here. See, it's just as I thought. There's no chance the good doctor doctored her findings. And you swear by the Holy Goddess that this testimony is true. Of course, Grandma's never told a lie in her... Your opinions are not necessary, Nurse Needler. Your grandmother is the subject of this inquiry, not you. Not necessary? That's not fair. I'm the only ally poor Grandma has. Go ahead and shout objection left and right, but you must be prepared then, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor. Oh, I'm more than prepared. I'm ready to expose the truth behind the error in the report. Okay, looks like we don't have any evidence. We just need to press and press. Never? You're saying Dr. Hertz is infallible? She has to be. A doctor can't afford to make mistakes. Even a veteran like Grandma would be out of a job if she messed up even once. So there's no way she of all people would. I got a whole hospital relying on me. Might be you can bungle your work and survive, mister, but I can't. You've been dealing with the dead longer than you've been alive, so Jim. And you've really never made a single mistake in all that time. Doctoring's all about experience. The longer you've been at it, the better you get. If only the same were true of prosecuting, Chairman Winner would be the best in the business. But I think we can all agree that's not the case. Oh, you really are a devil, Miles. But you're also quite wrong. I've never once made a mistake either. After all, I have people to do that for me. I'm too busy for foul-ups, and luckily for me, I don't have to make them. Isn't having people just grand? Don't you go trying to make doctoring and lawyering sound a shame. They ain't a lot. They ain't nothing alike. Nothing alike, I tell ya. Me writing something wrong. The victim appears to have put this raincoat on after sustaining the head injury. And yet, there was not a single drop of her blood in the chest area of the raincoat. Therefore, she must have been hit in the head before she was stabbed in the chest, making it pre-mortem. Oh, that's... ouch. I don't need you to teach me how to shuck eggs, young man. My dang report already says what you just said, don't it? Your report states that the head injury appears to have been sustained post-mortem, which is the exact opposite of what I just said. Oh. Sure. I diligently dictated that report to Florence here, and she wrote it all down just like I said it. If something happened to it after that, weren't nothing to do with me. You dictated it? If you could please tell me more. I diligently dictated that report to Florence. Anything after that weren't nothing to do with me.
Hold it!
Just so we're on the same page, what were your conclusions regarding the body? Well, like I said... Ouch! Sorry, it was... death from a good hard knock to the noggin. And can you say for certain when that knock happened, Dr. Hertz? Pre-mortem, of course. Chest wound happened right after the poor girl died. I told Florence that and she wrote it right down, so that's what it says in my dang report. That may be what you told her, but I think we're finally getting to the truth.
Hold it!
You may not have stood to gain anything from it, but what about your granddaughter? Me? I didn't stand to gain anything either. Never mind her. What about your little friend over there, She'd stand to gain something for sure. Look at you, trying to accuse my sweet innocent Florence of wrongdoing. Yeah, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. I wish you'd tell that to Chairman Winner. Anyhow, nobody doctored that report, you hear? Nobody. That's all she has to say, nothing funky here.
Hold it!
Did anything stand out as strange to either of you when you were examining the body? Let's see, what's that, Grandma? Pretty strange, young fella showed up, that's for sure. A strange man? Who? Dressed like a dang fool he was, all frilly around the neck and such. And the dangest thing of all, even though we all knew the edit boy was about to get fired, he still insisted on messing with my scene. That's right, I'm talking about you, mister. Ruffle-necked ruffian, crimson-suited creep. Oh, so Mr. Edgeworth is a ruffian and a creep. Those are not words you needed to commit the memory, Kay. Dr. Hertz doesn't sound like she's lying. No, but she only communicates through her granddaughter. I should probably try to make sure that Nurse Needler is being truthful too. Okay, so... Okay, so do we present the autopsy report here then?
Objection!
Dr. Hertz, I'd like you to take a look at the report for yourself. Oh, I'll read it too. Youch! This ain't what I said. This ain't what I said at all. What? What do you mean exactly? I don't know. But I can't say that. Oh. Miss Needler, if you are attempting to bury Dr. Hertz's truth, I will gladly hear her confession myself on behalf of the Goddess of Justice. Dr. Hertz seems to be telling Judge Gavel something in private. What? I see. Very well, allow me to relate to everyone what you have just told me. Ain't no doubt about what I said. I dictated my findings to Florence just like I told you I did. The fuddle-headed young'un thing must have wrote it down wrong or something. Wow, that was a great impression. Yes, but was it really necessary? So in summary, there's an error in the report. And all it was because of you, Nurse Needler. Heck! The true facts have now been shown to be that the head injury occurred prior to the chest wound. The question now, Miss Needler, is why did you introduce such an error? Just a minute, Verity. You make it sound as if the poor girl did it deliberately. Whereas it seems to me she just made a little mistake. Pre-mortem, post-mortem, they're practically the same word, don't you think? Except they mean two completely opposite things. That was deliberate, no doubt about it. But why would she want to change it? Exactly, thanks You won't get away that easy. Explain yourself, young lady. But Grandma, You submitted a falsified report, an act that led to Kay being accused of murder. You owe us an explanation. But I can't tell you. Not don't want to, but can't? This is really rather unpleasant, don't you think? Ganging up on this poor, considerate girl who's only looking after her grandmother. She has nothing to do with anything. She simply made one tiny mistake, so why not leave it there?
Objection!
Such comedy. Yo, thanks for that. I'll check that out later. You'd like that, won't you? Because the only person her testimony would hurt is you. What on earth do you mean, my boy? Seeing as you're now a de facto ex-prosecutor, you're going to need to explain yourself better than that. I'd be happy to. I'd even spell it out for you. Nurse Needler's role in this crime was very important because she's the real murderer, she's the real victim, she's a co-conspirator. She's the real victim, she should be dead, duh. It would come out of nowhere that she's the murderer. She's the real murderer. Oh god, this is wrong. It didn't hide the progress bar. Oh, you really have outdone yourself this time, my boy. Well, shall we put her in handcuffs this instant? She's a conspirator. Okay, at least we reset our health bar, right? Okay, yeah. Her role in this crime should become obvious. Now, if you're quite done fooling around, perhaps you can cut to the chase? Nurse Needler doctored the report in order to cover for her accomplice. She's a co-conspirator? This is innocent young thing? Do share your grounds for making such a wild accusation, dear boy. The murder couldn't have been committed by one person working on their own. Without at least two people, it wouldn't have been possible to move the body, maintain attendee numbers, doctor the report. I think all of these like classify. But let's say maintain attendee numbers. If the auctioneer was the murderer and the victim was one of the attendees, the fact that the witness testified to there being 11 attendees even after the murder doesn't make sense. Hey, watch it. Y'all gotta call my good word into question now, too. That's not what I meant. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I'm taking you at your word, which means there must be a co-conspirator. I know it's hard, my boy, but sometimes you just have to accept that you were wrong. I wasn't wrong. I just hadn't considered the possibility of the killer having an accomplice. But as soon as we do, things start to fall into place. If the killer's accomplice returned to the auction room in place of the victim, there would indeed have been 11 attendees both before and after the murder. Well, so that's your thinking, is it? It's certainly an intriguing theory. But surely the imposter would have been spotted right away. I don't imagine that Nurse Needler looks strikingly different from the victim in build and stature. With the help of a mask, she could very easily have replaced Miss Ringer without anybody noticing. Well, Nurse Needler, is that what happened? Did you take the victim's place at the auction? I wouldn't do something like... Now tell us, the ringleader, who were they? I can't tell you, I just can't. It'd hurt Grandma too. Okay, so she's technically admitting that she did. Don't you worry about me, I can take it. You just tell me everything, child. But... Grammy! Breakdown. Okay. So I was right, she was an accomplice. Miss Needler, why? Holy fuck, yeah, like... Slapping your grandmother, what the hell? Oh, now she has her hair fixed again, wow. Oh, thank you, Grandma, but I'm alright now. I confess it, I changed places with Miss Ringer. So you admit that you were working with the ringleader? Yeah, I was helping them. I don't know how, but they found out Miss Ringer was going to attack them. The culprit was going to be attacked by the victim? They seemed pretty sure it was going to happen that night, so they made the counter plan. They wanted to strike first and they wanted me to help them. I was told to go to the storeroom before the auction began and wait there. Okay, now hold on right there, Missy. I didn't see nothing and my ass don't lie. If you'd have been there for before the auction, I would have bumped right into ya. I was there the whole way through and you weren't there for a bit. But I'm not lying. Well, that's easy for you to say, but you were lying about altering that report only a few minutes ago.
Objection!
I think we're all aware of the number of potential hiding places in that storeroom. Where exactly are you trying to say our friend the nurse was hiding? Oh, she was waiting in the storeroom. The box.
Take that!
Oh, she did she? Huh? Well, it was there the whole time, even before I moseyed on in. But like I done told ya, it had all them chains around it. Wanted to hide in there myself really, but it was locked up tight, so I had to go elsewhere. I'd imagine that because Nurse Needler was already lying in there by the time you arrived. That's right, we didn't want anybody to open it or it would have really blown our cover. So the ringleader told me to climb in and wait until it was my time for my part of my plan. And then they wrapped the whole box up in chains. I think they took the elevator downstairs not so long after. Okay, if you were stuck in that box, I would have panic attacked to death because of claustrophobia. This just before the auction was due to start. So as the auction was beginning, you and Miss Hart would have been the only people in the storeroom. Yeah, I think so. The auction proceeded as it always did until a certain customer came upstairs to complete her purchase. That was when the incident occurred. Miss Hart overheard the victim and the culprit exchanging words around them. You betcha, I was behind that statue there shaking like a dang leaf the whole time. In the middle of their quarrel, Miss Ringer was killed by the auctioneer. Excuse me, sorry. I imagine that the auctioneer then carried Miss Ringer's body to the clothes box, from which Nurse Needler emerged and swapped places with the victim. After placing Miss Ringer's body inside the box, Nurse Needler's role was to pretend to be Miss Ringer. The two of them then returned to the room below as if nothing had happened. Does that about sum up what happened in the storeroom, Nurse Needler? Yes, in fact, that's exactly what happened. Hold up, so you just waltzed right back on in and nobody noticed? This is two completely different people we're talking about. You're telling me not one of the other folks down there at the auction caught it on? Why would they? The other auction goers had no reason to notice the difference when Nurse Needler entered because she had stolen the victim's clothes. She was wearing a mask, right? As we've seen, Miss Ringer and Nurse Needler are about all the same build. What's more, the auction rules require attendees to wear their masks at all times. If Nurse Needler were wearing the same clothes as Miss Ringer, nobody would have been any the wiser. No, and they weren't. I borrowed Miss Ringer's clothes and left the poor child in her snails? Have you no respect, girl? No, Grandma, I thought the same thing. It wouldn't be nice to leave her like that. So when the ringleader wasn't looking, I put on that raincoat on her. So that's how Miss Ringer came to be wearing it. Thus, the auction was able to carry on as before. Yes, the part where I caught the red raincoat on film just came after. Yeah, must be, then it all makes sense. Right after that was all when I went on and over and looked downstairs through the gap in the elevator. Spied me 11 happy little auction goers, then back I snuck to my little hidey hole. Don't tell me you were hiding back there the entire time after that. Well, that is not exactly. What is it? Did something happen? So maybe I ought to have mentioned this before, but I fell asleep for a few winks after that. Well, passed out unconscious, you might say. What? What happened? Oh, nothing much. Kinda silly really, but there was this sudden loud noise and it startled me just a little bit, you know? Alright, maybe more than a little, but I just witnessed murder. Can't blame a girl for getting jumpy. Guess that got my heart shook and my head faint. Before I knew it, I was out like a light. By the time I came to, it was the next dang day and they were all clanking down that ladder. I see, so you were startled by a loud noise and fell unconscious. I suppose that means you don't know what happened after that. Not per se, but, well, after the auction was over, all the masks were back on the rack. So I reckon the guests done finished up and filed out one by one like the way they were supposed to. Nurse Needler, once the auction had restarted, what exactly were you doing? I was pretending to be Miss Ringer and placing bits just as the ringleader wanted. I had to win the clothes box as I had been instructed. I had a dead body inside after all. Imagine if somebody else had won it, we would have been in real trouble then. So you had no idea that the victim had vacated the box in the meantime? No, not until we came back up so I could pay for it. That was when we noticed. The ringleader told me to go look for her right away. Except I found some other girl collapsed at the foot of the ladder instead. Kay. Yes, she must have fallen from up on the roof and been knocked unconscious. Guess the victim must have left that hatch wide open, huh? That would explain it. Kay would have been so shocked by seeing Miss Ringer fall motionless right in front of her that she wouldn't have seen the open hatch and fallen right through it. That explains the noise that caused you to faint as well, Miss Hart. It was the sound of Kay crash landing onto the storeroom floor. Yeah, I suppose. Can't believe something like that Dawn knocked me out for so long though. So in summary, by the time Miss Needler found Kay, you were already sound asleep behind the statue. I think we've got a good grasp on what occurred up to this point now. Nurse Needler, if you would continue. Sure. So I found Kay and next I found Miss Ringer and I put them both in the clothes box. Really? We couldn't risk any of the auction goers seeing them. That would have caused a real hullabaloo. Was that your idea or the ringleader's? Theirs. But putting the raincoat on Miss Ringer was my own idea. So I tried to get rid of it before they found out what it done. I imagine they were none too pleased when it showed up as a surprise piece of evidence in this case. And lastly, the ringleader and I put her in an auctioneer's outfit we'd prepared. Of course, which completed the deception and made everyone think she was the auctioneer. All in all, the auction finished up without anybody noticing anything. And that was that. Now that we know the extent of your crimes, Nurse Needler, if you have anything further to share, I'd advise you to do so immediately. I wish I could tell you more, but I'm sorry, that's all I know. Oh, except for one other thing. It did seem a little strange, I guess. When I was borrowing Miss Ringer's clothes, I took everything I could, but I couldn't take her hair, obviously, so... You're dang right you couldn't take her hair. What kind of medical professional are ya? That's where you draw the line, so taking her clothes was okay. Our hair was totally different. The style, the length, everything. I kinda panicked. But the ringleader thought of everything, including wigs. 2 of them, in fact. There was a straight one and a wavy one. They were both stashed in the clothes box. 2 wigs? But why? Right? I wondered that too. I thought maybe they were worried she might have changed her hairstyle. Anyway, I took the straight one. That was the one that matched her hair on the day. Leaving a wavy wig in the box. Okay. And that's everything you know? There's nothing else you're forgetting? No? No, really, Grandma, that's everything. And I take it that you really have no idea who the ringleader might be. Sorry, I only know that they were in charge of the auction. I didn't see them without their mask on. And they were pretty careful to keep their identity a secret from everyone. Oh, well, Miles, are we about done? You've proven the nurse was part of the murder plot, but sadly for you, it doesn't change a whole lot. Because it does nothing to prove that Kay Faraday isn't the ringleader. And justice must prevail. We can't change the law, even for your sake. Is this it? Am I not going to be able to save Kay?
Objection!
That's Francisca. Yes! Francisca, what are you doing here? As I told you before, Miles Edgeworth, where the case leads, I follow. Your dedication is an inspiration to us all. Happy Francisca Thursday! But don't go getting the wrong idea, little brother. I'm only here to deliver the truth regarding the suspect. I'm certainly not here to forgive you for abandoning the way of the prosecutor. I understand that. You should thank your former subordinate for what I'm about to share. In his desperation to help Kay Faraday, he gave me a valuable piece of information. Detective Gumshoe did that? Prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth, for the final piece of the puzzle. Rosie Ringer's head wound was the first of the injuries she suffered, not the second. Oh, are we gonna get a whipping because this information is late? Well, somebody say something. Yes, there's no easy way to say this, Francisca, but we already proved that ourselves. You what? Yes, Josephine. Well, why didn't you say so sooner? You didn't exactly give us a chance. And I suppose you know about the murder weapon too. No, not yet. Ha, good. Then listen up. The victim was struck on the head with a blunt object bearing a circular surface, and the wounds to the chest were actually inflicted post-mortem. A circular surface? And you're certain of that, I assume? Your sources are above board? Two trusted medical professionals reached the same conclusion independently. You couldn't ask for more. That's certainly good to know. Unfortunately, you're overstepping. Of what? I am the prosecutor in charge of Interpol's investigation into the underground auction. And this murder occurred during that auction. It would be negligent of me not to pursue leads pertaining to related parties. Especially the victim. My, you've really become quite the force to be reckoned with, haven't you, my dear? Whip him. Say uncle. Then all parties are in agreement. The victim died from a blow to the head. Autopsy report updated in my organizer. Okay, wait. So the coroner's report has been updated to autopsy report. Wait, no. Not her uncle. If you remember earlier, she called Excelsius Uncle Winner. So they're not totally related, I would say, but you know, if you're close to someone, you'd call them uncle or auntie or things like that. Right? I don't know. Anyway, sadly the murder weapon itself has yet to be identified. Based on the shape, I might have an idea or two. But guys, I didn't turn up any other weapon during my investigation, and yet one need only think about the setting and an auctioneer's tools, and the answer should be obvious. It's the gavel. An object with a circular surface used in an auction. We're obviously talking about Judge Gavel's hammer. The auctioneer's hammer, a judge's hammer, the auctioneer's hammer. What would an auctioneer have readily at hand? An auctioneer's hammer, of course. But we never found one of those. If the auctioneer was indeed the killer, it does seem a likely candidate for the murder weapon. But without the evidence to support your theory, it remains nothing more than that. Oh, I have just the evidence you need right here. This piece of evidence strongly suggests that the auctioneer's hammer was the murder weapon. It's the autopsy report.
Take that!
It's not the autopsy report! Okay. Ouch. Before, then what was that just now? Badge 2? We don't have the badge dash. Discount badge. Oh, I can't save, damn it. Okay. This piece of evidence strongly suggests If the hammer really is the murder weapon, did anything change from before it was used? Oh, it was Lotta's statement. It was Lotta's statement that auction continued even after murder, but the sound of the auctioneer's hammer could no longer be heard.
Take that!
Miss Hart told us something very important about the auction after the murder occurred. She said that the very prominent sound of the auctioneer's hammer could no longer be heard. Now, why would that be? I'll tell you why. Because it had just been used in a murder and was covered in the victim's blood. It would need to be disposed of. Isn't that right, Chairman Winner? I'll have our people look into this right away. Oh, you really are like a dog with a bone, aren't you, dear boy? But if you can't dedicate yourself to a cause when you're young, when can you, Seems very confident we'll never find it. Very well, a search for the murder weapon will be conducted. In the meantime, this court is in recess. To be continued. There's more! Holy crap, this is a very long case. Okay, I'll play for 30 more minutes, then I think I'll call it for a night. Alright, April 6th, Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence, Chamber. Next time on Dragon Ball Z. Silence in the courtroom, please. Miss Von Karma, if you would be so kind as to update us in the progress of the search. It's not good news, I'm afraid. The entire big building has been searched from top to bottom, and no auctioneer's hammer was found anywhere. That is bad news indeed. Then, we have no choice but to move ahead with the verdict. Such a terrible shame. But I suppose only a fool would have left the murder weapon behind. It's certainly not what I'd expect from a first-rate criminal mind. No, there's just not enough to work with here. I can't carry us any further on my own. Yes, it really is a tragedy, but such is life, I suppose. I was just thinking back over the defendants I've made plea deals with over the years. People who poured their hearts out to me, who trusted me with every detail of their crimes. And then when it came to their sentencing, I'd recommended life in prison every time. For every single one. Oh, if only you could see them. The stupid, dumbfounded looks on their faces. The verdict will now be passed. All present will accept the goddess's word as law. There's nothing more I can do. Kay and I are both... If only we had some proof. I never imagined I would be passing judgment on you under such circumstances. The end of the road, huh? By the power vested in me, Excelsius Winner, this court hereby indicts you for your crimes. What? What? Huh? What on earth's gotten into you, Verity? I submit for the court's consideration the case file of a certain incident. Namely, the IS-7 incident, a murder that took place 18 years ago. That was the previous case. What the hell? But what does that file have to do with... Wait, you mean... Your late night visit to this chamber, that was to... Precisely. Did she just do a bait and switch? Yes. Okay. Alright. Okay, the verdict will be passed. I never imagined. By the power vested in me, Excelsius Winner, this court hereby indicts you for your crimes. Oh my gosh. I came here to retrieve these documents. Though sadly, it would seem that I arrived too early to catch the auction itself. When we spoke of the matter before, I implied that I had come to retrieve files pertaining to your own case. You'll have to forgive me. That was a ruse to buy myself more time. IS-7 incident file data jotted down in my organizer. Okay, wait. What does the incident say? Okay, Manfred, Gregory, Artie Frost, Samson Tangaroa. Okay, persons of interest, Delicious, Cohen, Trudy Bond, Carmelo Gusto, Gusto and Artie Frost sons would both visit Tangaroa Mansion up through the day before the incident. From the day of the incident onward, their whereabouts were unknown. So I think that was the same info that we got from the last case. Okay, what the heck are you doing, Cavell? You can't just accuse my dad. Without proper grounds, it's deformation. An excellent observation, Eustace. Huh? It is? And of course, I have the grounds to make such an accusation. 18 years ago, Mr. Manfred von Karma had some details about the victim's body fabricated. That was the autopsy report. Yup, details when he was forced to fabricate when the sculptor Artie Frost's body went missing. My papa? Fabricating information? What is the meaning of this? Ian Seidman, the detective originally assigned to the case, did in fact report that the body had gone missing. However, it seems that a certain someone wasn't very pleased with Mr. Von Karma, and deliberately withheld that information in order to bring him down a few pegs. What? This individual refuses to allow anyone to go against their wishes or to challenge their power. And they're known to go to extreme lengths in order to bring those who defy them to heel. 18 years ago, they were no different. In fact, they even ordered Dr. Hertz to create a fake autopsy report for the IS-7 incident. Wait. What? She was responsible for the fake report? Wait, you have to understand, Drama, she is not a bad person. She had to do what he said. She didn't have any choice. He? The person in question was the chief prosecutor at that time. So wait, he was the chief prosecutor. The chief prosecutor 18 years ago? No. The man who gave Papa the first penalty of his career? Excelsius winner, it was you.
Objection!
Holy crap! This is a butterfly effect thing. If it wasn't for the penalty, Gregory wouldn't have been dead. Right? Oh my god, I need to think about this later. What are you talking about? My dad would never do something like that. Sorry, not... I was about to say domino effect, but I think it's the same. Butterfly effect, domino effect. Anyway. I'm sorry, Eustace, but your opinion on the matter is not needed here. Well, Chairman Winner, do you have anything to say for yourself? All that nonsense with the body, that was Manfred's doing. Such a willful boy. And the fake autopsy report? Hilda, how could you? I can't believe you naughty kids would do such dishonest things behind my back.
Hold it!
We could just ask her why she did it. She is standing right over there after all. Wait, Grandma Cat, she's ouch. Grandma, I'm sorry. I knew, that's why I... Right, exactly. If I didn't, everybody would have found out about what you did. They said he was going to charge you if it didn't help them with their plan. Oh my god, are you like slapping your grandmother again? I just had to do what the auctioneer said. Breakdown? Are we gonna have a breakdown? So you were coerced into it, were you, Nurse Needler? And just to be clear, the auctioneer was Chairman Winner? I'm sorry, but I honestly don't know. The person forcing me to help with them was the auctioneer. And they definitely looked to be about the same build as the chairman, but I never saw their face. Well, there must be something. Any detail, no matter how small, will do. Oh, wait. Their mask didn't cover their whole face. And the part that wasn't covered had a tattoo on it. I remember that much for sure. What? A tattoo.
Objection!
This sounds very dramatic, but I really don't know what you're talking about. There's no tattoo anywhere on my face. I'd think I'd know if there was one, wouldn't you? Which means I can't be the ringleader, no matter how much you might want me to be. I only hope you can figure out who this shameless manipulator might be. Ho ho ho.
Overruled.
Your contempt for this courtroom is an insult to the goddess. Are you sure it's not you who's feeling insulted here? I'm not the only one who has been trying to bring you to justice. Miss Stringer had been trying to. And I refuse to let her sacrifice be in vain. Young Rosie was looking to take me down, you say? But why? I barely knew her. I've always had a certain magnetic charm, but I don't remember ever catching that particular eye. You barely knew the victim? Why, I do believe that is a new statement. The goddess demands that you offer your full testimony on the record. So that's how this is going to go, hmm? You mean to hound me until I finally break? Well, if that's the way you want to play it, fine. I'll destroy you all. Every last one of you. Mr. Edgeworth, please allow me to work with you on this one. I doubt we'll get another chance to put him on the stand. So let's make the most of this opportunity. Of course, Your Honor. I wouldn't have it any other way. Alliance. Now, Chairman Winner, you will tell this court everything you know about Miss Ringer. Allegro. Young Rosie was a member of the committee, of course. But we never really had any personal interactions, at least none that I remember. I had no motive to murder that poor girl whatsoever, and I have absolutely no idea why she was after me. So you don't mean to accept your part in any of this? Of course he doesn't. He isn't guilty. How could he be? He's my dad, the winner of winners. That's very kind of you, Eustace, but you'll need more than mere words if you plan to cover for me. Right, you got it. I won't let them pin this on you. I believe in you, Dad. You'll beat Edgeworth. I know you will. Yes, you really are a sweet, simple child. He really loves his dad, huh? But that's no excuse for him to ignore his father's crimes. No matter how much he respects him, regardless of their station in life, all criminals will be made to atone for their sins in time. This won't be easy on Mr. Winner, but it has to be done. We can't let his father get away with this. Member of the committee, of course.
Hold it!
As a member of the committee, you must at least have been familiar with her face. Sure, but that's about all. I saw her every once in a while, but we never really had any personal interactions, at least none that I remember. So you're saying you barely knew the victim at all? That's exactly what I'm saying, my boy, yes. Why, I never knew about that burn mark on her hand. You didn't? I mean, what's the point? You'll get to know someone, but before you know it, they're gone. It's become such a pain to remember things about others. They're here on one day and gone the next. Yes, because they dare to stand up to you and you make them disappear. If you could please add your remark about the victim's burn to your testimony, Chairman Winner. I didn't even know about the burn mark on her hand. Alright, I think this is the statement we need to present evidence on. You really don't let up, do you? I'm not in the habit of memorizing who has a scar on their hand and who doesn't. But this wasn't just any old scar. I'd say it's pretty noticeable, in fact. Perhaps under normal circumstances, but now that I think about it, Miss Ringer did always wear gloves. Truth be told, I wasn't aware of the burn mark until after the incident myself. The victim's hands were always covered by a pair of gloves. It makes sense, of course. People can be very self-conscious about such things. I can only sympathize, being something of a sensitive soul myself. I hope you're not too sensitive to append that statement to your testimony, alright? Although I suppose she was always wearing gloves, perhaps it was to hide that burn. So you remember her always wearing gloves. I mean, it was something of a trademark of hers, yes. Who knew it was to hide a burn mark? I always imagined it was just a fashion statement. Does your little friend there have something to hide under all those bandages, I wonder? Who, me? No, I don't have anything to hide. You don't? Not even the stony visage of a cold-blooded murderer?
Objection!
If anyone here is hiding such a thing, it's you. And I'll expose your true face if it's the last thing I do. Ho ho ho. You never fail to entertain, my boy. Go ahead and do your worst. So Mr. Ringer always wore gloves. That reminds me of something. I should look over all the evidence again. Had no motive to murder the poor girl. You never had any trouble with her professionally? Oh, don't be so silly, my boy. I am far too important these days for such trivialities. And by all accounts, her work was unimpeachable. Besides, our difference in standing meant we hardly ever interacted. But that doesn't prove you didn't kill her, does it? Well, you would say that, wouldn't you? Anything to save your little friend, It certainly seems that Miss Ringer had some personal interest in you, at least. Indeed, indeed, but I can't for the life of me imagine why. Too bad, so sad. Without a motive, you can't logic your way into pinning this on me. And I have absolutely no idea. You have no idea at all as to why she was after you? Let's see now. It's because that's a real catch. I suppose you could say that, yes. The admirers, they come and they go again. You couldn't even dream of being like my dad. Very true. I doubt many ordinary people could quite match his achievements. It's remarkable, really, to have so many people come into a life and then for so many to leave it. I certainly won't complain if you choose to leave, Verity, my dear. I think it's far more likely that you'll be the one leaving today, in handcuffs. Yes, very droll. But if you think I'm finished, you'll be sorely disappointed. Have to think back. If you're not sure how to approach this, take another look at the evidence. You just might find a new way to interpret old information. Are you trying to help me, Francisca? I'm trying to help Kay Faraday. I could care less about you. Nice to see she really is worried for Kay in her own Francisca sort of way. Alright, okay, I think it's the glove statement. So... what do we have? Okay, I think it's the ringleader's appearance. Right? Because I think that's the only thing we haven't presented so far.
Objection!
It's not this! Okay, wait. Ah, shoot. She didn't have gloves here. Or is it the plushie? So my thoughts here are it's either the plushie, the recording, or the photo.
Objection!
Okay, it is this. So Miss Ringer was always wore gloves. If she did, that raises a rather important question and highlights quite a contradiction. A contradiction, you say, really? If we listen again to the conversation that was captured by this stuffed cow, you will soon see what I mean. I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. Nothing to say for yourself? I've waited so long for this day, and now I'll finally have my revenge. We can be reasonably certain that what we just heard is the moment the victim was attacked. I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. We assume that those were the words of the killer. And where's the problem in that? It seems like a perfectly sensible assumption to me. I'm afraid not, Chairman Winner. For you see, if the victim was always wearing gloves as you just testified, then the burn mark on her hand should not have been visible to the killer.
Objection!
You speak as if gloves can't be easily removed. She could have taken them off during the auction. But she hadn't. She was still wearing them when I changed places with her. So they must have been on her hands when she was being murdered too. What are you saying, my dear? You do know how much trouble you're in, don't you? I'm not scared of you anymore. I have Graham on my side now. Now it's time for you to pay the piper, Winner, you dang devil. I see, so you're both looking to disappear too. That can be arranged. Not this time, Excelsius Winner. The only person disappearing will be you.
Objection!
Hey, you can't talk to my dad like that. Who cares if the burn was covered up? Why does that even matter? Oh, it matters. Because it turns our understanding of the burn mark on its head. What do you mean? What can the fact that the victim's burn mark was covered up possibly tell us? The murderer had the burn mark too. So could the recording actually be from Ringer? Think about it like this, Mr. Winner. The victim was wearing gloves, therefore the burn mark on her hand would not have been visible. In which case, whose burn mark was it that was being referenced in the recording? Somebody who wasn't the victim? Precisely, which can only mean that the culprit had a prominent burn mark too. Or to put it another way, I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. Those words were spoken not by the murderer but by the victim. No way! Eustace, my boy, would you mind stepping aside for a sec? Look, Miles, it's nice to see you having fun with your little flights of fancy, but let's get serious. So the murderer had a burn mark now. Really? Where? Your little theory will either take flight or die depending on your answer here, I'm afraid. He's not messing around. I have to figure out where that burn mark was and fast. I wonder where it could have been. All of the auction people were wearing disguises, right? Yes, and each disguise was different. Yet in spite of that, the burn mark was visible to the victim somehow, which means... Well, shall we? Enlighten us, why don't you? Where was the murder's burn mark? I assume you have some evidence. Wait, this was Needler's statement, right? Okay, I remember like Needler saying the auctioneer had a tattoo. Okay, here. Ringleader wore a white jacket, white gloves, magenta flower, mask. Also had a tattoo on the part of their face the mask didn't cover.
Take that!
Okay, here's my evidence. The outfit the ringleader was wearing throughout the auction. Or rather, the outfit you were wearing, Chairman Winner. Okay, if he was the if he was the auctioneer, they would have seen his beard, right? Unless his beard is fake or he can like grow that much in one day.
Objection!
A suit, white gloves, and a mask. This disguise should have covered almost all of your skin. But according to Nurse Needler's testimony, the auctioneer's mask didn't quite cover your entire face. And not only that, she claims to have seen a tattoo on the part that was exposed. But was it a tattoo, or did she simply mistake a burn mark for one? A burn mark on the face? Sorry to interrupt while you're so clearly enjoying yourself, dear boy. But I regret to inform you that none of the committee members has such a burn. Myself included, of course. But Dad, Eustace, do you think you can be quiet, please? You can be foolish on your own time later. Oh my god, it's him. He knows. Well, you may be an annoyance most of the time, Mr. Winner, but on this particular occasion, I'm grateful for your presence. A reaction like that from you, his son, is as good as an indicator of the truth as I could have hoped for. And it gives me much needed confidence boost concerning another theory of mine. Namely, who that one unexplained item belongs to. What's the matter with Mr. Winner? I think he might be in shock. After all, he's usually the last to figure things out. But in this case, he seems to have gotten there all too quickly. He knows that his father's indeed the real murderer. He's sad because he knows the truth? So it's better not to know the truth at all? No, Kay. It's what we came here for. It doesn't matter how we get there, the important thing is finding the truth. You yourself told me that once, right when I needed to hear it the most. And now it's time for me to repay the favor and show you the truth of your innocence. I want to know too, the truth of what really happened. So please, Mr. Edgeworth, won't you show me? I very much intend to. Ho ho ho. You don't know when to give up, do you? Where's this burn then? Perhaps you could point it out to me. But you can't, can you? Because it's nowhere to be found, just like the evidence that I'm the killer. Yeah, hunt for contradictions all you like. You won't find any. Because he's my dad, a winner through and through. I understand, Mr. Winner. I completely understand why you don't want to believe it's true. But if you ignore the truth now, you'll regret it for as long as you live. Dad, what do I do? Breakdown? I just don't understand it. How could I have raised such an utter buffoon? If you really wish to help your father, Eustace, you can try thinking on your own for once in your life, you useless nitwit. But I try all the time, Dad. All I do is try. I went to the school you wanted me to go to. I aced every test. Look at my jacket. They only give these to the valedictorian. I did everything you told me to. I worked like crazy and graduated top of my class. I have a feeling it was all paid for. I tried to be just like you and win as many trophies as I could.
Objection.
You really are just a simpering simpleton, aren't you? What? Those tests you aced, I had the schools give you perfect scores on all of them. I told you up. Those debate and speech competitions you won, the judges were all friends of mine. If you never even realized that much, there's no hope for you, I'm afraid. Not at all. You're no son of mine, even you must see that. Ouch. You're adopted. Ah.
Coburn64 backseats with. Excuse me for a moment. Eustace, please, shut up. Do not pass go, do not collect $200, leave the courtroom. Please and thank you.
Yes, he just did that. Yes, he is indeed a pompous spoiled brat. Oh, my own son, they all leave in the end. Oh, I mean, boo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Even when he was trying, he was failing, and he did it all for me, then he should have tried harder. You're a disgrace. You don't deserve to be a father, and you certainly don't deserve to be chairman of this committee. Even I feel sorry for the boy now. Poor Mr. Winner. Explain yourself, Chairman Winner. Just what do you think your son is to treat him in such a way? An utterly useless pawn sounds about right. But you're one to talk, Verity. You tried to worm your way into my trust by using Eustace too. I cannot deny it. However, I have never thought of him as a mere pawn. He may not be a naturally gifted prosecutor, but he tries. In some ways, he tries harder than anybody. That's what I have witnessed during my time with him. Yet you would call him useless? How could you?
Objection!
Oh, because he is Verity, my girl. He is utterly incapable of doing anything I ask of him. Mr. Edgeworth, I entrust my offering to the goddess to you, so that you may use it to call her final judgment unto Excelsius Winner. Thank you, Your Honor. I have been more than ready to do so. If the ringleader had a visible burn mark on their face that night, then it would follow that Chairman Winner is currently hiding that mark somehow. How exactly was he dressed during the auction? That will be the key to solving this case at last. Now then, your answer, please. Which piece of evidence will help us to reveal the burn mark on the culprit's face? Oh my god. What? Is it this mask? Because this is the only thing that doesn't make sense in this entire, like... I think it's one of the masks. Ringleader prepared to wear wigs. One wig was straight, the other wavy. Ringer's hair was straight, so wavy was not used. Is what Winner was wearing a wig all along?
Take that!
Oh my god, his beard and his hair is fake. Recall Nurse Needler's testimony, if you will. There was one thing we were never quite resolved. The second wig, the one that wasn't used. I seem to remember it being wavy. What are you two talking about? Nurse Needler apparently found some very interesting items when she went to swap places with the victim. And what do they have to do with the burn mark? What she found were two wigs. One was intended to make her look more like the victim. But what was the other one for? I don't suppose it was meant to be a spare. It doesn't take a huge leap of imagination to see the truth. Compare Sharon Winner's current appearance to that of the ringleader as it was described to us. Stop it. Stop staring at me. One very prominent difference presents itself. His face, or rather, what's around it. You mean... it wasn't a wig after all? Indeed, not a wig intended to go on top of the head in any case. It was a fake beard all along, wasn't it, Excelsius Winner? Haha, this? Why, this is all my own, dear boy. How very unkind of you to suggest otherwise.
Objection!
We saw how your son reacted when he realized the truth, and how he desperately tried to cover for you even in light of his realization. Yet you still fear that he might expose you. So rather than take that risk, you bullied him until he couldn't take it anymore. Because he knew that your beard hides a prominent burn mark. Chairman Winner, I insist that you remove your beard this instant. Break down. What? Okay. There it is, the burn mark. Mr. Edgeworth, for bringing evil to justice before the eyes of the goddess, you have my thanks. No, thank you. I couldn't have done it without you. Excelsius Winner, In the name of the goddess, I hereby pronounce my verdict. In the matter of the murder of Miss Rosie Ringer, this court finds you guilty. That was very climactic and both anticlimactic at the same time. I would have expected like a rebuttal or more, what they call this? More objections from Excelsius. You're expecting the guilty text. That one as well. The like big guilty text a la Ace Attorney. Alright. Chamber. Mr. Edgeworth, I can't thank you enough. You never gave up on me, even when I gave up on myself. That was very kind of you. There's no need to thank me. As a prosecutor? No, as a friend. It was the least I could do. Mr. Edgeworth, rejoice. I've learned that Chairman Winner has been safely delivered to the detention center. The search for the missing auction hammer continues. However, we are talking about Chairman Winner here, so it's highly likely that it has already been destroyed. In addition, there's one other matter I must inform you of. The chairman made a rather strange statement. According to him, the letters were not part of his plan. What? How could that be? He claims that he and Miss Needler found this letter on Miss Ringer's person. And that they found the second letter in Kay's unconscious body. From their contents, the letters seemed to once of correspondence. So he leapt to the conclusion that they must have been working with each other. That's quite the conclusion to jump to. As he read the letters, that's when he came up with the idea to frame Miss Faraday for Miss Ringer's murder. So he decided to place the victims in a very conspicuous place. Namely, in her left chest pocket. Sounds to me like he's just trying to make excuses for himself. Yes, I certainly thought the same. Perhaps it was some sort of last-ditch ploy on his part. But it matters not. He will answer to the goddess now. And under her scrutiny, such strategies cannot hope to succeed. He will not escape justice. And with that, one of the duties with which I have been entrusted with is complete at last. Judge Cavell, before you go, can you tell us what you know about how Chairman Winner came to murder Miss Ringer? There's more there, isn't there? Yes, and I suppose you have earned the right to the whole truth. Miss Ringer once had a lover, a press photographer. He was investigating the underground auctions as a freelance journalist. But before he could uncover the truth behind the auctions, he was disappeared. All Miss Ringer was left with were the memories and personal effects of her lover. And so, seeking revenge on Chairman Winner, she made her appearance at the auction. Unfortunately for her, her opponent struck first. I see, so that's the story behind this case. While the goddess does not condone acts of wanton vengeance, Miss Ringer's actions have exposed Chairman Winner's crimes at last. So that was your real goal. You were tasked with exposing Excelsius Winner and the corruption at the heart of the committee. Does anyone know what happened to Mr. Winner? I am afraid I haven't been able to get in touch with him. Do you have any idea why? Probably because I wasn't there for him just now when he needed me most. Oh, I feel really bad for him. Well, don't pity him too much. At least he knows the truth now. And no matter how hard it might be, he'll need to learn to accept it. If he can't, he'll never be able to move on with his life. Are you speaking from experience, Francisca? Trust me, yes. Yes, she is. A father's influence isn't easily erased. But in time, he can hopefully try and change his ways. I really hope if there's an Ace Attorney 7, Francisca returns, please. We need Francisca for Ace Attorney 7. You're right, you've got to be. Can I change too, I wonder? Can I move on with my life? Are you okay, Kay? Are you okay, Kay? How's that head feeling? I'm fine, thank you. I'm so sorry, Kay, you were my patient. I had a responsibility to you, and instead I let them accuse you of youch. Dang right, we ain't just in the business of fiction bodies, Missy. The mind's where it all begins. You're right, Grandma. Speaking of which, how's your memory? It's like, with a little more time, maybe I'll be able to remember some more. Let's up the ante her own story arc. You know, who knows, she might be head of Interpol now. Please forgive me, but I had better be on my way. I am to preside over the trial of Fifi Lagarde in a bit. The Bronco Knight case, who's the defense attorney? It was supposed to be Miss Ringer, but as she is no longer with us, we are still in the process of finding her replacement. Miss Ringer was supposed to represent Warden Lagarde. And of course, until we find Eustace, there is nobody to act for the prosecution either. In any case, I must take my leave. Oh wait, please, what about Mr. Edgeworth's badge? What's going to happen to it now? With its chairman under arrest, the committee's activities has been suspended for the time being. So to answer your question, it's complicated. It's all up to the goddess now. But don't worry about it, Kay. It's a consequence of my own making. And I assume you do not mean to change your mind? Of course not. I chose the path of the truth, and I chose it willingly. With Chairman Winner out of the picture, justice is in the hands of the righteous once more. If you did wish to follow the path of the prosecutor again, Mr. Edgeworth, I would be more than happy to facilitate such a decision. It's very kind of you to offer, but I can't accept your help at this time. I can't ask for my badge back when I'm not even sure if I want it anymore. It seems you're destined to continue on different paths then. Well, I trust you'll keep my badge safe until they converge again. In the meantime, I have here a token of the goddess's mercy. You may return this notebook to its rightful owner. Miles Edgeworth defense attorney hype. Spoiler alert, you've seen the next Ace Attorneys, right? It seems it was due to be sold in the auction, and with the name K written on its cover, Chairman Winner weighed the connection immediately and knew who it belonged to. It was the same name as the ones in the letters after all. The letters he claimed to know nothing about. I suppose he insisted he didn't prepare them? Yes. He also had something else to say. Apparently, he thought that Miss Faraday was after her notebook and that Miss Ringer was after his life. And their respective goals are what led them to cooperate and infiltrate the auction together. Unfortunately for him, he misread the situation completely. It was all just happenstance. If Kay had known the defense attorney who was also a member of the committee, there's no way she wouldn't have told me. That isn't just like her. Haha, your belief in her is touching. While the notebook did become part of Chairman Winner's cover-up scheme, it is also a treasured possession of Miss Faraday's. Which is why I would like for her to have it back, as I am sure would the goddess. Thank you. I pray that it helps her to recover her lost memories. Bye, Mommy. Is everything alright? Judge Gavel wanted me to return something important to you. Isn't that... Always greet people with a smile, even people you don't know. Never cry in front of strangers. Daddy, I wrote them all, Daddy. Yeah, I'm gonna keep all my promises and be a real hero when I grow up just like you. My God, burn Faraday. I forgot to write one down, the most important promise of all. Promise number 5, always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. I remember that just how you said it, and now I'll never forget it. Always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. That's right, I have to try. Breakdown. I'm Kay Faraday, the great thief who'll do anything to get her hands on the truth. Second Yatagarasu, an assistant to Mr. Edgeworth. Kay, is that really you? I thought like once she gets her memories back, she'll like throw out her costume and she'll wear her old outfit. Can't say I'm not a little bit embarrassed, but yeah, I'm back and I couldn't have done it without you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Welcome back, Ken.
Tilted, thank you for the 16-month resub. Holy crap. That's almost a year. Yo, how are you doing? Yep, how are you doing, Tilted? Good morning to you. Hope everything's well. Thank you for the resub, Tilted. Enjoy the emotes and ad-free viewing. You never stopped helping me, even when I was totally lost and couldn't remember anything. Thank goodness, you certainly seem to be back. Okay, so this is the real you, huh? Welcome back. It's so good to know you're better. I can sleep easily now. Now that you found it, don't you dare go losing that memory of yours again, young lady, you hear? Miss Needler, Dr. Hertz, thanks a lot for looking after me. And if you're really better now, how about you go out of dang hospital, duds? Oh yeah, I washed all your clothes for you. Here. I thought they were with Detective Gumshoe. He handed them over to us after they came back from forensics. And did he happen to mention if forensics found anything of note? I didn't ask. Anyway, never mind that now. If there were bloodstains, they were lost. Wait, what about her bandages? Surely it's too soon to remove them. Oh, it's probably fine. She may have taken a big old bump to the head, but she really wasn't hurt otherwise. But then, why all the bandages in the first place? Prevention is better than cure. A stitch in time saves 9. Those are just a few of my mottos. Most of which sound like painfully annoying practices for your patients. Okay, Kate, transformation time! Yeah, now this is what I'm talking about. Fits like a stolen glove. That smile suits you better too. As it always did. Thanks to you too, Miss Von Karma. I'm so glad you showed up when you did. I simply care when Scruffy asked me to. Aww. I'm sure he'll be very happy to see that you're back to your old self too. Speaking of Gummy, where is he? Who knows? Perhaps the well of his devotion ran dry when a certain someone threw away his badge. Detective Gumshoe. Anyway, I have to be going. And I'll be taking those two with me. Wait, what's going to happen to them? Acting as an accomplice in a murder and forging an autopsy report 18 years ago, their crimes can't be allowed to go unpunished. How about the statute of limitations? But the fact that Excelsior's winner coerced them into cooperating will, of course, be taken into account. Don't you worry about us, Kay. As long as Grandma and me are together, we'll be alright. Take care, Kay Faraday, until we meet again. Community service. What is Lota still doing there? So, Kay, I know you only just got your memory back, but I need to ask you some questions. Sure, ask away. What happened the day you lost your memory? What were you doing? Let's see. Somebody asked me to meet them at Gourd Lake. But I didn't know who it was, so there I was just looking up at the moon when somebody in a red raincoat started walking towards me. They must have drugged me somehow because that's when I fell unconscious. Oh my god. Was this? This was her testimony. He was at Gourd Lake looking up at the moon. Anyway, when I came to, I was on the roof of this building. I was in a daze and stumbling around up there when I saw the person in the red raincoat again, but they were lying on the ground. I was so surprised I stumbled backwards. And then she fell. And then I was falling and everything went dark. When I came to the second time, I couldn't remember anything. The person in the red raincoat, who in the world were they? I'm sure they were walking in midair. Thinking about it's making my head hurt. Just breathe, Kay. You only just got your memory back. You're still confused. I imagine the root cause of your confusion is... I imagine things are all mixed up in your mind because you were at Gourd Lake one minute and then at the top of the building the next. And because you saw the moon in both locations, your mind blended your memories of the two together. Huh? But those two are two totally different places. I know I was pretty out of it, but I don't think I could have gotten them confused that easily. I believe these things on the roof may have made you more likely to become confused.
Take that!
There are two key similarities between the scene down by Gourd Lake and here on top of the big building. Cherry blossoms and food stands. Wait, you're right. Those similarities are what caused your memories of both places to overlap. The person in the red raincoat wasn't walking in midair, they were walking toward you from across the park. But in your blurry memories, that same sight played out over the viewing platform instead. No way! Who steals a great thief's memories, huh? That's just cheating. Even still, this doesn't answer the question of who attacked Kay in the park. Yo, Fresley man, what's up? Welcome on in. Shiny head, but my hair's growing again. Was it the person in the red raincoat she saw? Beep, 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 beep. Oh my god. No. No, sorry. Thank you. That's flattering, but no. Nope, okay. Sorry. No. Sounds like it's coming from up in the storeroom. Yeah, nope. Sounds like it's coming from up in the storeroom. Alright, come on, let's go take a look. Well, Howie, and smell another scoop in the coffin. You're still here? $9:53 a.m., 51st floor. You would have expected that from an MSS clone, but not that. Wait, it's coming from this little gadget here, Mr. Edgeworth. This transceiver. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before. Still going, but I'm no good with technology. Come on, you have to pick it up. Fine, I'll do it. Hey, this is Edgeworth. Kay, if you could refrain from answering strange calls for me. Mr. Edgeworth, I presume? I know that voice. Shelly the Killer. Congratulations on another case solved. Yet, I can't truly say it's been fully resolved, can you? I'm sure you've noticed by now that there was a mastermind at work orchestrating the entire incident. How do you even know about this case? That's not what's important right now. Let's focus on this certain individual for the time being, shall we? I've indeed been wondering myself if somebody else could have been involved. If not, how are we to explain the piece of evidence that proved so damning to Kay's case? No way, an evil mastermind, but who? Who indeed? Perhaps you could share your thoughts. What is the evidence in question that points to somebody else's involvement? The only two things I can think of is the mask. Or wait, this was like... Or the IS7 file, because these are the only two things left.
Take that!
It's right here proof that somebody else is behind all this. Sorry, I don't get it. Sadly, neither do I. Okay, save scum. What is the evidence in question that points to somebody else's involvement?
Take that!
No, okay, it's not the flower as well. Okay, is it the case file? No, wait.
Take that!
It's not also the plushie. Shoot. So it's the
Take
case
that!
file. It's not the case file as well.
Take that! Take that!
It's not the raincoat.
Take that!
It's not the key card. Man of Steel before your time, you never saw him acting like that. Just hi.
Take that!
The letter. Oh my god, it's the letter. Alright. The letter K was supposedly wrote to the victim. Yeah, I don't remember ever writing that. So who did? Who would prepare such a thing? I know I'm not the only one who would like to know. And how do we know it wasn't you? Now, why would I do a thing like that, I believe the truth can only fully come to light in a court of law. But since you've had your badge revoked, that is no longer an option. So how will it all end? I, for one, will be watching from the sidelines with interest. He even knows about my badge. Oh, and one last thing. I do hope you won't betray my trust in you. Now, I bid you farewell. Beep. What the heck did he mean by the case hasn't been fully resolved? And why is he so interested in us anyway? Everything's just one giant ball of mysteries. It seems we've only scratched the surface of this case, but even without my badge, I'm going to carry on doing what I can. However this ends, one thing's for certain. Come what may, I will expose the truth. The end. The end. Turnabout Forsaken. Turnabout for the ages. Alright. Looks like we have what they call this, Eustace back. All right. I think that would be it for the night. All right, at least we got to finish case number 4. Nice. Ooh, ooh-wee. Anyway, I guess that would be it. Everyone, thank you so much for joining in. I really did enjoy your company. Really do appreciate it. Thanks for streaming. No worries. A big thank you for the resubs. Who did we have resub? Anilel, Coburn, Anilel again, and Tilted. Thank you for the resubs. Punisher, if you're still here, thank you so much for the raid. Do appreciate it as well. Anyway, yeah, please do not forget to check out the socials. Did it show up? Wait, socials. Okay, okay, there. I think it was just late. No, you did it. Okay, thank you. All right, my stream deck's not working. Question mark. Anyway, yeah, please do check out the socials: YouTube, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Discord. Yep, YouTube. Hi, YouTube. We're simulcasting there right now. Anyway, yes. As for schedules, tomorrow I'll be off. On Saturday, we will be back for Mario Maker 2 Throw Levels, and next week, on Monday, we continue and start the final case, which will be assumingly long. So we'll probably do an Evason band, really? Do I need to like clap my feet twice for Aniv to come in? Anyway, I'll see if I can let Aniv rejoin. So hopefully by Saturday, he'll be back. Anyway, that would be it for the night. So let's find someone to raid. What's Moose doing? Wait, is Moose about to end? Okay, no, he's going on his not poop and break, so we'll raid Moose. Anyway. Alright. Yeah. Yeah, I thought he was about to end, but yeah, he's going on break. But yeah, let's just go raid Moose. Anyway, yeah, that would be it. Case number 5 next week. Alright, everyone, thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day, rest of your night, and I will see you all next time. Bye.